You're watching CNBC Africa, and this is another exciting episode of Captains of Industry in the second installment of our entertainment edition. Today, we're still in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, to talk to Kenya's funny man. If some know him by different names, he's called Churchill. Government name, Daniel Ndambuki. Thank you for making time to speak to us.
You're welcome.
I mean, this is fantastic. We're on set, just about to see what really happens, but give us a sense of what a normal day for Churchill Live would be.
I wake up at 5 o'clock. I do my prayers. I don't gym. I don't know. So basically, I have my breakfast around 6. Then I go to work. I have a daytime job.
Right.
And then after 10, radio, that's when I
because
I go
we
to
know
my
you
office.
as Churchill, but you also have a very big show on radio.
Yeah.
So what time does that start?
I hear from 6 to 10.
All right.
Yeah, so after that, I go to Laugh Industry. Laugh Industry is the company that is in charge of Churchill Show, Kids Festival, and other festivals and programs.
Right.
Yeah.
So Laugh Industry is not just about comedians. It's not just about the stage.
No.
There's more to it.
There's more to it.
Right.
We do events for kids. Kids Festival, the biggest kids festival in Africa, I guess. Because at one point we normally host over 65,000. Then there's a production arm where Churchill Show falls, and then there's Churchill Raw. Churchill Raw is for upcoming comedians.
Right.
Comes on Thursday on TV. Then on Sunday, that's the show I host. Normally we have an interview. I have 1 or 2 comedians. We have a section for kids, and then we have an interview with a musician, an artist. Yeah.
What does it take to make people laugh for all these years?
Do they laugh?
They do.
It depends. You know, there are guys, even when they are laughing, you can't tell if they are laughing. So have you seen those guys who can laugh and you wonder, has he laughed? Because there's facial expression.
Hasn't changed.
Yeah, so you just keep on moving.
Right.
Comedy is telling a story, so you just make sure it's something you relate to. They brought me my specs.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. So
it happens
so
on live
this will
TV.
appear on TV.
Yes.
So now this is Churchill when I put my specs.
Without the specs is Ndambuki.
This is Daniel Ndambuki.
Okay.
Yeah, when I put my specs, it's a businessman, Churchill.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Fantastic. So, I mean, Laugh Industry has all these arms, but I also noticed you're very passionate about children.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Kids Festival every year. What is it about children that inspires you so much?
Yeah, there's nothing that inspires me is knowing we still have hope of creating a wholesome, positive generation. And the only way we can do that is starting with the little ones, the kids. Like in Kenya right now, the biggest disease that we suffer from, apart from corruption, is tribalism. And so right now, I'm so glad with the Montessori schools, the kindergartens, the kids even don't know their tribe.
They don't know their tribes, yes.
Yeah. I keep asking my kids, do you know you come from? No. I know of Michelle, I know of an Indian kid, I know, and I like that.
And that's the future of the country we'd like to see.
To that, yeah?
Right.
That's the future.
Okay.
That's the future.
Let's focus on the Churchill we see on stage every Sunday on local TV in Kenya.
Yeah.
I mean, you have such a big following, but more importantly is the fact that every Sunday without fail, you tune into your TV and you will laugh.
Yeah.
Give us a sense of how has it been like building that?
Yeah. It's been around 15 years, so I had to learn from someone. So I was working with Ridiculous, so I was scripting and I was the prop person. Prop master. Right. You want this?
You're carrying the cameras, moving things, costumes and all.
Yeah, so you learn. And there's a guy called Wahome Mutai, who was a scripter, writer. The thing is, first of all, when we started Churchill Live with Bob Nyanja, the director of Cinematic, he's the guy who put up the idea together, TV, big up to him. It was like Churchill alone, like how Ellen does, and just one-man show. Then with time, I did a season, just doing the show alone, 45 minutes.
Right.
It was so much, just me on stage for every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
It was a big show. Just
you need
having
new
a
jokes
big
every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Right.
That's not no big deal because you put a big creative team. But now with time, you realize you're inspiring other people out there. So where is the window? Where will they showcase their talent?
Right.
So with time, now I started incorporating new comedians. I took Eric Omondi from school, Daystar.
He's a big star as well in Kenya.
He's a massive star right now.
Right.
He's not in Kenya,
East
even
Africa,
in Africa.
yeah.
He's doing big stuff. And I incorporated Teacher Wanjiku. With time, I just kept on. It became more of an academy. Right now, it's an institution. So tonight, if you stay here to watch the show, you'll see over 20 comedians. I have over 60 comedians in the stable.
Right.
And then it stops being you. It's not about you now. It's about the industry. It's about now careers you're creating for these guys. You become a role model.
Right.
And with that, you have a lot of responsibility in your hands. And it's not easy.
How different? I know it's very difficult, but how different is it from the Kenyan comedy scene to what we watch on TV? I mean, stand-up comedy is well developed in other markets, but how different is that from what we have in Kenya?
We are still growing. First of all, Kenya is a very conservative country. There are jokes you don't do.
Right.
Starting with religion, of course, to bedroom stuff.
Yes.
We are very sensitive, even tribes. So we've been doing more of tribal
because your show
jokes.
is PG, it runs
PG,
family time,
8
right?
to 9.
Right.
It's more like a daytime show. And so the reason why we've not been able to push the envelope, first of all, is because of some of those aspects. Two, we've just begun.
Right.
From theater, narratives, and now we're going to stand-up comedy. So the comedians are slowly beginning to embrace the real stand-up. Just stand up, do your materials.
Right.
And so in the next 2-3 years, we should have some exports, if I may say.
Right.
Yeah.
You've said tonight we'll be witnessing about 20 comedians come on stage.
Right.
What does it take to make a good comedian, having done this for 15 years?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. First of all, it needs a lot of observation. 2, a lot of intelligence. 2, 3, you need to have a lot of time to script your act. You can't act what you've not written. Then you need to have very good mind. And then ask yourself, who are you talking to?
Right.
Are you talking to the youth? Are you talking to the old men? Are you talking to the women? You have to choose your audience. You can't talk to everyone. And then the most important thing, 3 important things.
Right.
Discipline, number 1. Number 2, discipline. Number 3, discipline.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting.
You need that.
Who is the hardest person to make laugh in your in your career? I mean, have you ever had tough crowds?
Yes, we've had. There's a performance I did for Indians in India.
Yes.
And they were like, what are you saying now? Tell us.
They're not getting the joke.
Yeah, so should I talk about money and discounts? And then they talked about why they never go to the World Cup. Because every corner you get, you open a shop now. And they liked that. They started connecting.
How do you connect with that crowd? How do you know that it's getting in and sticking to a train of thought?
The first minute, when the reaction, the reception you get, when you introduce, now introducing, you can feel. That's why comedians can perform for free just for the applause. You can tell how they receive you.
Right.
If a crowd receives you so well, the applause is so much. Even if you didn't have material, you'll find a way of sharing.
Right.
But when you find a very cold audience, it's like getting to know a girl, you know? If you, hi.
If she keeps quiet, you might as well.
You're like, okay. It's never
Cheers.
I mean, you drop something, you know? But if you like, hi, it's like, hi. I like your color. Yeah, then already now you feel, yeah. So how you received is very critical. So that's why most of the time, a lot of comedians work on the entrance, maybe.
Right.
And I guess you'll see that tonight.
Talk to us a little bit about now the institution that is Laugh Industry and Churchill Live. How does it go about everyday sustenance, attracting new talent, and just keeping this thing going? Give us a status update of where we are now.
Where we are now, first of all, Laugh Industry is an office. We have guys who work from Monday to Sunday. So this is just a one-day thing. And where we are right now, we have a team, creative team, that's working on new talents. That's every Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, they polish their lines. Then Thursday is when we have the live recording, or Friday. Then there's the editing part on Friday and Saturday, and the Sunday shows shows up. Monday we are doing reviews. What happened? Just like week in, week out. Every show is a new show.
Right.
Then what happens is now we've created brands. Where do we take them?
Right.
And now Kenya has 8 provinces. So what we've done, I've divided them in groups of 5 of them. So I've empowered them. So I fund them. You go start a club in Mombasa. You go start a club in Kisumu. You start. So I fund you, and you raise the money, you build your offices, and you just give the company a very small commission of.
Industry.
That's under Laugh Industry.
Okay.
Yeah. So we fund the comedians to start their own comedy hubs.
Right.
So
how difficult or easy is it to fund art in Kenya? Because for a lot of us growing up, comedy was not a real career.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you're not going to make people laugh. That's not a real job. How do you get a comedian to believe that I can actually live off of this?
It's not easy, because when you're starting off, you have to be a brand. The money is not on this stage. This is a platform. What happens when you're on this stage, someone will see you. They want you to MC in your corporate gig. How much do they charge? That's 150,000 shillings. That's $15,000 US dollars minimum. Right. So if you have 2 or 3, you're comfortable. But now you need to build that name. Who are you?
So the gigs keep coming.
The gigs keep coming. So it's that patience. That's why I talked about discipline. So you haven't gotten there. So will you be disciplined enough to wait for your time? Okay? Will you be disciplined enough to ask yourself, how long did this guy take to be where they are? Because for this stage to be like this, I didn't start like this. Right. Yeah, this was 15 years work. Okay? Right. So when you're stepping on that platform, what you're doing actually, you're skipping all these years. Yeah? Right. Yeah.
Somebody has already set it up.
Yes, so if you're good, it won't take you so long before people appreciate you. And you'll see stars here. Right. Tonight. And tomorrow they are doing a big endorsement. They're paid millions of shillings. Now what they do with the money, discipline.
Right.
Okay.
Again.
Okay. Whether you come back after all that money, right. Discipline. Whether you can stay strong enough to be able to lift other people, discipline.
And discipline again.
And discipline.
Okay.
Don't forget that.
I'll keep to discipline because our time is up for the first half.
All right.
I want to take a quick break. If you've been watching, this is Captains of Industry in Nairobi, talking to Churchill, or as other people know him, Dan Ndambuki, Kenya's funniest man for over 15 years. There's more after this. Welcome back. You're watching Captains of Industry on CNBC Africa, and this is yet another installment of the entertainment edition. We are in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, talking to Kenya's funny man, Churchill. Right, I mean, so we've had quite a bit of the journey of where we've come from, yeah. And you've had significant success building this industry. But Churchill, the comedian, what's the future? What's next for you?
First of all, when you say funny man, looks like... funny. You know, my mom kept on saying, you need to look for a job. You know, your brothers are doctors, yes, lawyers, you need to get a job. Yes. You are just making people, you need to get a serious job. The thing is, we are serious about jokes, and it's a serious business. So we've established the brand. Now, I'm turning 40 this year.
Congratulations. Life is just beginning.
You think so?
I think so.
Really?
That's what they say.
Moving forward,
right.
We need to have other guys to host the show. We are creating new shows. We are spreading across East and Central Africa. We want to create Churchill comedy clubs across East Africa, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania. I normally host a show called Africa Laughs Festival, where I bring comedians from South Africa, Nigeria, one big show at KICC. So I hope we can do more of those. This year also in October, as I turn those many, many years, we're starting Comedy Awards. Should be the first in the region. We see how that goes so that we can keep nurturing that. We're going to the universities, getting those talents too, stand-up comedy. And also we see the festivals, national festivals, can be incorporated in their drama festival, school. Right. So they start seeing it as serious because it's a career like any other. Right. And building an institution, creative excellence institution, where we have teachers and mentors, you come and do school. That's your school.
Right.
Yeah.
You've mentioned you're turning 40, and obviously you'll be looking for other people to take up the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, comedy is an art that is very centered on the personality.
Yeah.
Is it easy to leave the stage to someone else?
It is. Why not? Because you see, mine has become a school. It's a school. It's Churchill School. I think I'll do some very few minutes, less than 10. The rest, you'll see some amazing talents. And so once you know that, you know, comedy is not like politics. You ask any politician, okay, now, so what happens when you go away? And they'll ask you, so where are they going?
Nobody's going anywhere.
Nobody's going anywhere.
Right.
It's not like that. That's why you see Dave Chappelle can go away for so long, or Chris Rock. He can come back after 10 years and still get his audience back. It's how do you connect? It's a storytelling. Right. Do you connect with these people? So it's a question of the guys that are standing on that platform that you're creating together. Can they be so strong? Can we be strong together that we can sustain the industry for another 10, 15 years, creating new brands? Right. That we say there's a Monday comedy, Tuesday comedy, there's a comedy in another region, and every other night there's a comedy night. And obviously, and on TV,
for this
and
to
of course
happen, it has to
digital.
go beyond Churchill.
It's beyond Churchill.
Right.
Yeah, Churchill is gone. If it was my case, this show should have gotten finished long time ago.
Right.
You can't stand here week in, week out.
Right.
You go bananas.
Looking at the industry, there's a lot of people who are working in the laugh industry, and obviously you're leading a very big team. What is your leadership style, and how do you ensure that you clearly communicate the vision to these people?
My late dad taught me one thing. If you can't do it, if you can't be the first one to do it, don't tell anyone to do it. You see, like when they are setting up this place, I'm always here. I'm the first one. Yeah. When we are living here, I'm the last person, and still I have a radio show to do in the morning. Okay. When we have to rehearse, I have to be the first one to rehearse. Week in, week out, I'm the first one. I keep time. You know, and it's all about time, really. You know, a day has 24 hours. You're supposed to sleep for 8 hours. 8 hours you're supposed to work. Now, that difference between those 8 remaining hours is the difference. That's what determines a successful person and one guy who becomes a dreamer. Right. Yeah, or you become a hater and just you start a blog. You have to lead by example. Everything. Right. Okay, if you're talking about integrity, it needs to start with you. Timekeeping starts with you. Okay, and
as our president says, leadership starts with you.
With you, yeah, you know, in every sense of the word.
Is there a time, Churchill, that you woke up and you said, "I've had enough. It's too difficult. Let me go look for another job somewhere. Let me do something else." Is there a time that you wanted to give up?
I wake up, then I hear my kid crying. Then I'm like, huh? Perhaps I need to go to work. Right. Yeah, but I say the day I wake up and feel like I'm not going to have fun with what I'm doing, I'll just stop it. Right. Yeah, because what we do, we have fun. We have fun while working. Right. Yeah, so the day I'll feel I'm not going to have fun, it destroys me. That will be the end of it.
What about when business is not doing well?
That's normal. At times we do shows and guys don't come up. I don't know how many people are coming. I don't know what the marketing team has done. I'll just wait and see. We've had shows where we've confused the dates, then guys don't come, and you've put all this investment. Then you have to pay the suppliers somehow. Yeah, you're not related. You have to pay your suppliers. Right. Yeah, otherwise the next news
will be Churchill has swindled someone.
Yeah, but business is not, because for you to get here, you have to build trust and believe with your clientele. So that when you move, you move with them. Right. You know, you're different, and you know, we move everywhere. Right. Cutting away tribes, and we're just connecting everyone. Because just laugh connects everyone. Right. Yeah.
Talking of that connectivity, I mean, there's a big role that comedy has to play, and we've seen this internationally where comedians come out and they speak out against things that are happening. We've seen that with Trevor Noah in the States. Yeah. Have we gotten to that level where Kenyan comedians can come out and speak out against corruption and things like that?
We are getting there. Right. Yeah, we're getting there. Because like right now, we become an industry. We are just not by the ways. We are opinion leaders, and they've realized, just like digital, people are taking it for granted. Now, when you look, for example, the numbers I have on my social page, it's only the president who's ahead of me. 2.8, I have 2.4 million followers on Facebook. Right. So if I put something negative there, Forget about what reaction will it, all these guys who are following me, and on Twitter and on Instagram.
Right.
It becomes something else. Now, when it gets to that level, you become more conscious with the things that you do. Yes, we'll make those statements when need be.
Right.
Yeah, so I can say we're there already. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Do your kids think you're funny?
No. They don't even understand what I say. They like animation. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they watch you on TV, I mean, what?
You know, the kids say, that's my dad. You know, I see a lot of people like saying hi to dad when we go to the supermarkets.
Right, right.
And so we're taking selfies, and I'm like, no, you guys, I'm saying, you guys, we can't take selfies. Dad just likes to make everyone happy. And then I asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up? The last born is called Caleb, the acting last born.
Interim.
Yeah. He told me he wants to be the school driver. He wants to be a driver for their school bus.
Wow.
Or a policeman. And you're like, all these school fees, that the comedy is coming in. They'll understand with time.
Right.
And that's why I try to keep them away from, I don't want them to live my life.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, how do you draw that line between family and business? Because obviously, when you walk around, there'll be people coming around to take pictures and to say hi.
Yeah.
How do you draw that line?
Business at times have bad days. Can wake up one day, the station decides they don't want comedy, you're not funny anymore, the ratings have gone down. So you have to pick and start again, all over again. So now if you've incorporated your family in all this, so now do you go and start picking them again? So just keep them away. These are the guys, when I get home, I'm dad.
Looking at the future, Churchill, obviously there's young people coming in. What do you see the future of comedy and entertainment in Kenya being? Because now everything is digital. You may not need a big local TV to carry your signal. People just do these things on Facebook Live. What do you see the future of this industry being?
The future is the comedians realizing that they are media on their own. So what we're doing here, we are creating platforms. So in the future, I'm seeing a lot of TV stations. Atakama, it's been done. The bedroom.
Right.
Already they are doing Chipukizi, they are shooting those kids every day.
Right.
And see, that pays. The future wouldn't be determined by the mainstream medias, and that gives me joy, because I've seen guys gain from the YouTube channel, and that's the future. So I can't really. The future keeps surprising us, because today you have this phone, tomorrow they've just updated it.
Right.
That's how we are transforming.
Right.
Yeah, so it's very bright. Yeah.
If there was anything government could do, we always talk about government because Kenya is amongst a country that has a very high rate of youth unemployment. And this becomes a government problem. From where you see it, what can not just the Kenyan government, but our African governments do to promote art, to promote this kind of skills on the continent?
First of all, because it starts with the president. If he doesn't get this, he'll never get it. He can't. And the people who are in there, because they never benefited from arts. The day we'll have someone who's gone through the arts, went through all the hog, they'll be able to pass a policy where you go and fund and nurture these talents from the ground. Otherwise, right now, it's very vague. If you ask any politician, so why should, it's like when I was looking for investors to put up Laugh Industry. Okay, you say, so I need money, and I talk to the banks so that I can buy equipment. We stop leasing. So where's the surety? The surety is the idea. Right. They don't get it. Who will give you 100 million to start up business with nothing?
Right.
So
it has to start with the financial systems also agreeing that there's value in this thing.
The policy, do the MPs really even understand? In school, they never went through this. So in Kenya, as long as you got into the national level drama, that's it. Right. So who picks it up from there? They have no idea. So the greatest actors, I was not the best actor in school.
Right.
I wasn't.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't in drama.
Right.
So can you imagine the top actors and actresses who went up to national, and right now they are doing a boring job in accounts or a driver or. So follow up.
Right.
Yeah, follow up. So until that happens, we have guys who understand there's a lot of potential, millions of jobs can be created through arts. That's when we'll talk about the government now has put a policy where we can fund productions and blah, blah, blah. And I hope that day is coming.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. He knows how to evolve.
Despite the mistakes he does on stage.
Yeah, forget about that. yeah. And he touches the family. He has daytime shows. He has all these game shows. And his character also, on and off stage. That's really impressive.
Fantastic.
Very impressive.
Fantastic. We'll leave it there.
Asante.
Churchill.
Say hi
Daniel
to him,
Ndambuki.
Ukimona, when you see him.
Thank you. Asante sana.
You're welcome. Asante sana is thank you very much.
That's right. I've been speaking to Churchill, Daniel Ndambuki, the funniest man in Kenya, simply put, on this edition of Captains of Industry, looking at who are the captains that are leading Kenya's entertainment industry. Until another such exciting edition of this is CNBC Africa. My name is Bonnie Chunya.